Hello guys and welcome back to the video. So in this video I want to talk to you about if Palantir is the next Tesla, and I have seen this, a lot of you have been asking about this. Tom Nash even did a video about this, and my viewpoint differs a little bit from him, and it's going to be a very interesting video. So it's dangerous to say that Palantir is the next Tesla, because some people YOLO into Palantir because you are saying this, right? So very important that don't do anything just because of this video. Do your own due diligence. I have zero qualifications to give financial advice, and hey, this video is anyways not meant to be financial advice. So just keep this in mind. And by the way, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter. Vince is at bullish. No, Vince is at Vince is bullish. My God, I need to learn this. So say hi to me there. So is Palantir the next Tesla? Very interesting topic. So first, let's analyze what happened to Tesla. So the reason why people are so interested in this is because Tesla had a 6-year period when it was around $20. It was, up a little bit, down a little bit. And then all of a sudden it shot up and went all the way to $400. And that's right, that's a 20x increase in your money on a 1.5 year period. And obviously when people ask if Palantir is the next Tesla, they are hoping that they will be from here to here. And they don't think that a lot of Tesla investors like Cathie Wood, like Ron Barron, like Jeremy Financial Education, they were also holding it here, like some longer than others. Jeremy actually bought in like somewhere here at the best possible point, so that was very genius. But Ron Barron was holding Tesla since 2013, and he is not complaining. He turned like 300 million into $6 billion. So this to Tesla actually happened because of an asymmetry. The market at large didn't understand Tesla. They didn't get the business model. I was actually around, and I don't know, I was sitting on my thumb and sucking it. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't invest in Tesla, even though I saw the opportunity. And I can tell you that at that time, the problem was that the market didn't understand Tesla at all. So they thought this company might go bankrupt. Even if they don't go bankrupt, they're going to be a niche player and they're never going to sell more than 50 to 100,000 cars. I remember when Musk announced that they were going to make 500,000 cars, and some people thought that the SEC should remove him as a CEO because he's lying to investors. This is how antagonistic people were about this. And then they said, even if he doesn't go bankrupt, he produces 500,000 cars. When you look at the other car companies, the margin is super low. So this company is not worth anything, right? Even though if you looked at Tesla's reports, and I'm actually going to make a video about this, you could see that if this company succeeds, it's going to be a very high margin company, because their gross margins were always the top of the automotive industry, right? So you could see that they're making super much money on the cars. They just have this, general administrative costs, but those general administrative costs flattened out after a while. So it was very logical to see that as they produce more and more cars, they're going to become a very, very profitable company. But the market didn't get this. And then suddenly, when they produced the 500,000 cars, they had a few quarters where they were profitable, and the world could see that, oh my God, they have industry-leading profit margins, they have endless demand. Then the stock got correctly valued, some would argue maybe overvalued, and it jumped 20% in no time. So this was it's important to know the history, okay? So this is what happened to Tesla. So Palantir is also misunderstood by the market, so there's a good chance that we have this. And I mean, if you remember, just a few quarters ago, Palantir was a spy company. They were evil. There's people protesting it wherever they go, and that's still the case, by the way. Many people thought that Palantir can never be profitable. They have this jackass CEO whose hair is very funny, and he doesn't care about shareholder interest, and he cares about philosophy, and he gives away the whole company to the employees, and he's jibbing the investors. Then on top of this, they were saying that Palantir is not a scalable business. It's a consultancy. They don't have a go-to-market strategy, and they are not really expanding to new customers. So this, just a few quarters ago, this was what people were thinking about Palantir. So, but has this all changed now that they showed that they are GAAP profitable, and Karp actually knows what he's talking about? And the problem is that it hasn't. There is still something that is wrong. So for me, the thesis of Palantir has been proven. I can see that they are scaling very good. They're getting new customers. The new customers are raving about the product. And even many of these customers in the past invested into Palantir, which is even like insanely shows how good the product is, right? And I believe that Karp is a very misleading person. He is not at all what he seems. And he's very clever. So he sits there on stage and he tells you that Palantir sucks at sales, and he cannot sell basically water to a guy who's dying of thirst in the desert, right? That's what he tells you. But he was the only salesperson in Palantir for a very long time, until Palantir hit 700 million in yearly sales. So if you tell me that there is a bad salesperson that can get your company up to 700 million in yearly sales, please send me that bad salesperson. I'll take him any day, okay? Then there was this narrative that he said, yeah, we're the outsiders. We don't speak the Wall Street language. I call BS on that, because he correctly recognized that this, growth at all costs, that was, the mantra of, the free money era that was before the interest rates went up, it has changed. And now all that investors care about is profits. And he actually pivoted his whole company, and then he showed that he can deliver what the investors wants. And he does speak this language, even though he tells you he doesn't. So I think that he's a bit misleading. I understand why he does this, but he is definitely the guy where the actions speak louder than words. And you have to look at not what he's saying, you have to look at what he's doing. And by the way, it's a sales strategy, because I don't know who it was, Peter Thiel or I don't remember whose book that I read, and they said that the best salespeople are the people where you don't even know that you're being sold to. So Elon Musk doesn't come across as a good salesperson, because he doesn't seem like the guy who is selling you something. But actually watch him. In all the interviews, he's very clever how he's selling Tesla, how he's selling all the companies that he's doing, and he's very good at motivating investors. But you don't know that you're sitting in a sales meeting and in a sales video. And it's the same with Karp. When he tells you, or when he tells the government, I'm not a good salesperson, I cannot really sell my products, you have to look how the product is, people's guards go down. And that's when it's very easy to sell them. So it's actually a fantastic sales strategy, but I'm telling you, he's an MFer of a salesperson, and he knows what he's talking about when it comes to Wall Street. So I feel that the thesis of Palantir, to me at least, it has been proven in the last quarter. And I think that management knows what they're doing. I think we're in very, very good hands. But there is a problem still with this company, and that is that they're still misunderstood. So the current plan of Palantir is that they're going to dominate the market with their latest platform, the artificial intelligence platform. And in the Q1 earnings call, Karp said that we don't have a price strategy, we're just going to go out there and take market share. So you can translate that as we will give away the product. He has a track record of doing this. People don't believe it when I say it in my videos. But he has given Foundry to the UK's NHS for £1. Ukraine is using Palantir Foundry basically for free. There's many other operations connected with Ukraine that get Foundry for free. So he has a track record of this. So I better believe him. And I even agree with this strategy. I think in the long term, he's going to get a ton of customers, because there is a super high switching cost for the companies to go off of Foundry, and anything else that they go to needs to be 10 or 15x better for the companies to even dare to risk switching away from Palantir. So it's a very, very smart strategy. But it has a problem. It's going to make it look like Palantir's revenue is not growing. And if you have a growth company like, Tesla had in the past, you need to show very high growth very consistently. And just to illustrate this point, in 2019, this is a cohort graph, by the way, which I tweeted at Palantir's investor relation to please continue releasing these cohort charts, because it's very, very important. Here you can see that the 2017 cohorts, they did something wrong and they were getting less yearly. But the people who came in 2018 and started at 7 million, the next year they bought for 10 million, and the next year they bought for 15 million. So this is a 50% increase. And then those same people bought for 17 million the year after. And this is when they were just learning the ropes. Okay, in 2019, they had 19 million sales for new customers. Those 19 million 3x'd and became 69 million, which almost then doubled and became 102 million. But there's a problem. So when you're a 2 billion revenue company, I believe in 2021, their revenue was 1.5 billion, right? So the new customers, all the new customers that they got in that year, they made 53 million. That is a 1% increase. It's nothing for the whole company. But these customers, as the years go by, they become gigantic whale customers. So the problem is why Palantir's growth seems to be very slow is because the top 20 customers make up half of Palantir's revenue, and they are very mature, very scaled relationships. And those babies, until Palantir outgrows this and has so many new customers that are going through this scaling period, Palantir is not going to grow fast. But is it bad? No, because we know that this fast growth is coming, okay? It's just in the future. And not only this, because when they acquire customers, they have to use the forward deploy engineers. The margin on these new customers is insanely low. They're probably even losing money. So it's not even that they're not making revenue. They have a very, very low margin. So the retail investors, probably in the next few years, when they will look at Palantir, they will look at this company and they will see a company with an insanely high PE. Currently, the last quarter, they did almost 20 million in profit. If you annualize that, that's 80 million in profit. And the current market cap of, let's say, current market cap of Palantir is 15 million. That is 187 P as they are today. But maybe if they really lean into the AIP and they, get a lot of new customers and margin goes down, maybe you will get a 500 or 1,000 P and with very, very low margins. And I believe that there will be a lot of investors who will look at this and they will pass up on this fantastic opportunity because they are only looking at the cover of the book. They're not looking under. And I think that there will come a time when it will be undeniable how profitable the business model is. So just to illustrate this, my understanding is that a substantial part of the Palantir team was working on the Ukraine when they were delivering the product to Ukraine, both for research and development, setting it up, because whatever they're learning in Ukraine, they can use to resell to other NATO countries. And their adjusted gross margin barely dropped a few percentage points, right? So imagine if half your company, okay, I don't know the numbers, but I was impressed by them having so much resources on Ukraine, and they still had, 17% adjusted margin for the company. So that is very, very impressive. So I want to say that this is pure speculation. Don't do anything based on this video. I'm just a guy on YouTube. If you put a gun to my head and I have to make a prediction, I think what's going to happen is Palantir is going to uptrend from here very slowly. I think 20 to 30% per year. And then in a few years from now, there will come a glorious time when it clicks for investors and they understand that, oh my God, this guy who says that he's a horrible salesman, he's a fantastic salesman. And he basically dominates the whole AI sector now because he went out there with his product. And remember, guys, that for Palantir, they scale like a cancer at a customer. And in the beginning, their revenue is this small and they have huge costs. But as the customer scales, Palantir's costs go down because, the company gets more adapted. They need less engineers to be on the ground. And the company that is using Palantir has a harder and harder time to switch to a new program because of, as Palantir scales more and more into the organization, the cost to change the company off of Palantir becomes higher and higher, and the risk associated with that becomes higher and higher. It's one of the most fantastic business models, honestly, that I've ever seen. So, is Palantir the next Tesla? Probably. Is the time now? Not yet. I think we will have a few more years where we will have a chance to, really load the boat with this one. But I digress. I need to go to sleep. It's very, very late. Follow me on Twitter. Vince is at bullish. No, I don't understand how I cannot say it. At Vince is bullish. Say hi to me. Say that you're from this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.